All right, Shalom. For the phones, we give our praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shai Shai, by Hashem Harakah Kodash Barakathum. The honor to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone, and to what I can across the globe, pushing the word of truth and sincerity. I want to say Shalom. This I died now from the great millstone camp in Chicago with a quick little hit. I just run across this thumbnail here. As you can see, this is it's called Indisputable with Dr. Rashad Ritchie. And the context is cop sold the gun used in fatal high school shooting. All right, so we're going to play a portion of the video or a portion of this clip. And Lord willing, this lesson is edifying.
It's at it again. What a police department they have out in Philly. So this is 20-year-old Samir Ahmad, who's a Philadelphia sheriff's deputy that was hired in February. He was fired and arrested, or February 2018, not of this year, but was fired and arrested earlier this month for allegedly selling methamphetamine and guns to an FBI informant, including 2 guns allegedly used in the ambush at Roxborough High School last month.
All right, so, I watched a little bit of the video. Well, the point being is that, even though you have Jake in these positions where you think they would make a difference, you think they'll be a little more compassionate, a little more empathetic, all right, considering that they know the turmoils and the trials that our people face, the gang violence, the gun violence, the drug addiction, the drug abuse, the poverty that has been stricken our community. But yet he took his position of authority and further exploited, all right, the calamities of our people. Which consists of the Native Americans, the Latinos, and the Negroes, which make up the 12 tribes of Israel. All right? And the fact that, all across America, the police are in dire need of officers, the standard of vetting these officers has been lowered dramatically. Okay, so you have these young men who are 20, 22 years old, entering into the police force with little or no experience as far as being alive, really, man. Because these are really kids themselves, you see, and you have them coming from communities and backgrounds where they've been raised by the same people that they're trying to arrest and get off the streets. You see? But this is nothing more than an abuse of power. This is nothing more than really a hatred for our people and being greedy for gain. Okay? Now, I was born in the 70s. I grew up in the 80s. All right? Raised in the 80s, grew up in the 90s. So I was there with the crack epidemic. I was there when the Rodney King beating got on tape. Okay, all right. I was around. All right, during a lot of these things, the 3 strikes law. Okay, when mob action was starting to be enforced as far as the gangs. All right, so being around this type of environment, all right, has not decreased, but actually it has increased, but it become more prevalent and visual because of the technology that we have in cell phones and portable cameras. You see, so I'm gonna get a couple of scriptures, and Lord willing, that's an edifying. I'm gonna get into Jeremiah 5:26. So, for among my people are found wicked men. They lay wait as he that setteth snares. They set a trap to catch men. All right, and you have a lot of so-called black men and women who are on who are on Esau's payroll. When I say payroll, they're doing the work and they're doing the bidding of Esau Edom, whether they're working in the courts, whether they're working in the jails, or they're working the beat on the streets as police officers. You see, they are all in cahoots. All right, and these so-called black police officers now mind you, you know, there are some that are worse than others. There are some that are better than others. All right, but the fact that they are or have been involved in incidences and um, high-profile cases where they've used excessive force, brutality. They've been known to plant drugs and to beat handcuffed would-be or suspected suspects. Okay. All right. There have been numerous accounts of black on black brutality by police to the residents and the citizens they patrol in the communities. All right, so there is no a different. Jake does not differ. Jake in the Hood does not differentiate between a black cop and a white cop, man. The fact that you work for the police department, all right, automatically separates you or us from them. Okay, and the fact that he had took his power, all right, to take these guns and to sell them to students or to criminals on the street, which in turn have used them to create more violent crimes, just shows that even though they are of my color, they are not my brother. All right? All Israel is not Israel. You see? And this is a wicked act that he has done, selling guns. They've been using murders, dealing drugs. Okay? And if he got caught this one time, there is no telling about how many times he got away with these acts. All right, and let's not even think about the people who have been arrested and convicted due to his involvement in him supplying the streets with drugs and guns. All right, because usually this is not the first. When somebody gets caught, all right, for something, 9 times out of 10, it's not their first time doing that particular act. Okay? So, I'm going to get another precepts here, and we're going to get, the scripture say you are your father the devil. All right? This is, Can I show one?
Just make sure you,
All right, this is John 8:44. So I'll get John 8:44. It says, "Ye of your father the devil, the lust of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it." All right, and this particular police officer, which is which are a lot more out there on the force that are doing these things and much worse. All right, than what this officer did. Okay. But this is a tactic. This is a systematic curriculum, so to speak, that Esau endorses in his police forces, man, all across the globe, or all across the states here in so-called America. All right, and Jake officers are going to do the exact bidding of their Edomite counterparts in performing their job. You see, they're going to plant drugs on you. They're going to pull you over for no reason. They're going to use excessive force. They're going to lie. They're going to taint and manipulate evidence. Okay, we're going to take drugs and guns from drug dealers, all right, and resell them to their ops on the other side of town. These things are actual and they're factual. You see, but now the things that are now to the surveillance and the updated technology, these things are coming to light. Although they do hide a great deal of things that we are not privy to, there are still a lot of things that are being released. There are still a lot of things being revealed about the corruptness of the police force here in Babylon, man. All right? And who's training these jakes? They're Edomites. You see? They're taking on the vibration of the... Matter of fact, I'm going to talk about... As a ruler... There's Sirach 10 and 1 that says, "A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered." Right, man. See, when you have a righteous ruler, a clean and unbiased ruler in authority, all right, his judgment, his policies, his constitution, all right, will be that in which will benefit everybody. Okay? But when you have the opposite, then you have what we have here today in America, a bunch of hypocrisy, a bunch of lying, murder, and deceit. Verse 2, "As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein," man. All right? So when you have corrupt police chiefs, corrupt sergeants, corrupt DAs, corrupt judges, corrupt mayors, corrupt lawyers, corrupt governors, corrupt senators, you see, when they condone this type of conduct within their ranks, what they call it the blue wall, the blue shield, behind the blue shield, all right, then you got wrong judgment going forth, man. All right, because this officer he's not acting alone. He's not the only one. Okay, he's the only one that got caught. All right. So there are many more out there that are doing these things and worse. Okay, how they go in and they shoot into occupied apartments. All right, without knowing who's in there. You see, breaking in or kicking in the doors of the wrong apartments and shooting old people. You see? Yeah, one officer who says he was drunk went into the wrong apartment and shot the person who actually lived there. This is all what's the word, man? This is all the culture. This is the culture of the police, man. All right. So when they're not being punished or held accountable for their actions, of course, it's going to bring forth corruptness and the things that we see here today. If I wanted this. All right. I'm gonna get this. I think this is what I wanted though. Um, I'm gonna read it. The Sirach 8 and 11. Because sentence against the evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the hearts of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. You see, and I'm not assuming. I'm not trying to lay false accusations against his officer or anything like that, against his nigga, really. All right, but if the FBI been running a surveillance on this guy, he been doing this before, and since he thought he wasn't gonna get caught, he kept on doing it, man. You see? All right. So we got these same. We talk about Esau. Hey, but we got wicked men in our wicked men on these police forces, man, in the FBI, on the on the on the what do they call it, the lawyers board, okay, in the judge's seat. You see, all right. We got all these jakes in these positions of authority who turn a blind eye to the injustice that's going on in our communities, man. Why? Because they're a part of it. They're getting paid off of it. All right. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom.